Well, and here we are again. This time with a slightly more complex game. This is Kirby Superstar Ultra. And, well, without further ado, we can just start.
In 3, 2, 1, go!
So, Kirby Superstar Ultra consists of multiple sub-games, and we are forced to start with Spring Breeze. Now, the fun thing about Spring Breeze is that it's sort of a remake of KDL1, so if you pay attention, you might actually see a little bit of similarities throughout this section. Right at the start, I'm gonna attempt a pretty hard trick. If I fail it, I don't mind it too much. I've got backups for it. So here we go. There we go, first try. So what I just did there is called a mix. Whenever you inhale two enemies, you get the mix ability, and you basically just go through a reel where you quickly go and you can press a button at a certain timing. It's a 4-frame window, and that can give you basically any ability you want if you learn the timings. So for this game mode, and basically almost every single game mode to be honest, we'll be using Jet. So this is, and Jet is really fast as you can already see. It's also a very versatile ability because it also kills bosses really quickly. And this is an invincibility candy. It basically does that. It makes you invincible. Invincible. Damn. English. So a very neat thing you can do with Jet is you can grab enemies, and we're going to attempt to do that to defeat this boss here. Like that, and nice! Double kill! Now, timing isn't too hard, but you can easily mess it up if you're a little early or late. You got a nice little Kirby dance. So again, bubbly clouds. Like I said, it's kind of a remake. Or an homage, you can also call it. Well, just... And again, we just grab an enemy and we can just insta-kill that Krakow Jr. There we go. And then we fight against Krakow. This time we are not grabbing anything, you can just jet it down. Nope, that was too early. The little like blue things that shoot out, those are called Jet Cracker, and I can control when they shoot out by pressing B again with a full charge. Now we're back at Mount DDD. This time we only have to fight DDD in a full stadium. Look at all these cool guys. And look over here, we've got Wario, Luigi, and Toad to the right. So, at the end of almost every sub-game, there is a cutscene. But cutscenes are slow, so we just soft reset to skip the entire thing. And it still counts as you having completed the game mode. You have to get to the cutscene to complete the sub-game. Now we have Dynablade. Now, Dynablade's gimmick is that it has a little world map. There's actually a mid-boss that spawns on there as well, but we won't be meeting him until very long into the run. And we're gonna do another mix. Ah, I messed it up. So a fun thing about the Jet mix is that the second ability after the Jet is Ouch. So you can actually kill yourself mixing. There we go, third try. Like I said, it's a 4-frame trick in a 60 FPS game, so it's a little tricky sometimes. And we just go through with a lot of jet movement. Honestly, really love jet movement, it's just really smooth. So what I'm basically using the most is called air dashes, where you run and then you do the B move in the air, and you can just chain those together. Oh, I messed that up. At the end of every stage in Dynablade, we get this little cannon game. We try to mash to get on the 7, but sometimes you mash incorrectly, and then you end up losing like half a second or so. And I should not press the start button. That's not a good idea. There we go. So part of the 100% definition in Dynablade, we have to press 2 of these buttons. This is the first one. These buttons open little item rooms, and with those item rooms you can grab any ability you want, but we have the ability we want, so. And now we have one of the 2D platformer's greatest inventions, an auto-scroller. So if you've got anything to say, go ahead.
Alright, just want to note that currently the Dark Souls character name is still going on, the incentive for it, which will be cut off in about 2 hours. Lava Boost is still currently winning with 50 euros versus Cruel with 32 and 6 cents. And then we have Pollo with 25 euros. So if you want to make a change, get those donations in. It's going to a great cause. It's to beat cancers, or like it's to kick cancer's butt. Like what else do you want? And while at it, you can get your name on the screen, you know, for a Dark Souls character name. So yeah, get those donations rolling. We're also only 14 euros away from hitting 500 this time, and only 61 away for hitting 4,000 in total.
So that second part of the level was near perfect, especially the movement. That was really fun. I didn't get the best RNG on Bonkers, but it was good enough. Now we have Cacao Caves, which is just really difficult in movement-wise. It's really easy to mess it up. Already did mess it up, so. It's kinda technical. There we go. So here we just use a couple of full charges to get down quickly. There we go. So the thing about air dashing, which you might not know, is that I'm actually holding up usually. This causes Kirby to lose completely no height while doing them. And if you actually do frame perfect ones, you can get 1 pixel per air dash. You can go up. Sometimes that has actually messed me up in runs and made me bonk into things, so that's kind of annoying. So here with Bugsy. Bugsy is also an annoying mid-boss. Like that. There's a bunch of different patterns it can do, and you just need to learn which patterns you can deal with.
Alright, we have €1.69 for Mr. Kviker, and I hope I said it right this time. He's saying, supporting Sida to fight Indy. Good luck, Kinnin. Jet hype?
Hype? Okay, here we go. So I just did a little move with jet you can do, which is basically a jet jump. Gets you a lot of height, and you use that to skip having to deal with enemies usually. It's somewhat slow to use it for vertical movement, but you only use it to skip enemies. So here to the left we have a sneaky little door with a second button, which means that we have completed the 100% definition for Dynablade, which is pretty nice. In that item ability room, actually there is a jet, but because we already have a jet, we don't need it. So we can just skip that. Okay, I'm gonna try another cool little mix here. Let's see if we can get it. There we go. So a cool thing about mixing in this game is that you can actually mix for invincibility candies. And that's what I just did, right before a mid-boss rush. So you just stand inside of the mid-bosses and deal them damage. This saves about 10 seconds over not doing it, because it's crazy fast. And a nice little Kirby dance. So now we're gonna go up to Dynablade's Nest, which obviously means that we're gonna have a really difficult boss fight coming on our hands, because Dynablade truly is a monster. So don't blink. This is really difficult stuff. Here we go. And that's the boss fight. Of course, I lied. It's one of the easiest boss fights in the entire game, because Jet is just that strong. So here at the end, we have another little cutscene, so we skip that. I'm gonna go straight into the next game, sub-game, which is called Gourmet Race. There we go. Now in Gourmet Race, you are challenged by DDD to try and get as much food as possible while also like going as fast as possible, which is nice because we're speedrunners. Now the weird gimmick with Gourmet Race is that when you're running, you basically have the same speed as invincibility candy, but the moment you jump, you lose all of that speed. So you try to be on the ground as much as possible.
Alright, can I not get just the normal applause, but the biggest applauses of all applauses, but because we didn't just only hit 500 this marathon, we just hit 4,000 in total spread of all marathons, so give it up. The biggest applause. So yeah, that was a donation by Nina for 61 euros saying Lava Boost, Splava Boost. We all know Poyo is the best name out there. So yeah, currently Poyo is winning with 86 euros versus Lava Boost with 50. And that puts the Dark Souls character name incentive over 200 euros donated by just that incentive.
So in the third race, we're gonna get an actual ability to use. We're gonna use Wing. Now Wing has a pretty cool trick, and we're gonna see it instantly. I didn't perform it really well, but that is called dive cancelling. Now the down B move of Wing, Condor Dive, has a little moment where it goes up, but you can interrupt that with a flap. So by mashing the A and B button at the same time, you can just gain height really quickly, which is quite awesome. Also, a cool feature about Wing is that when you use it in the air, you actually retain the invincibility candy-like speed, so there we go. That was really good. Nice, a 39. That is actually really fast. So now we've beaten Gourmet Race, and Gourmet Race is one of the sub-games that does not have a cutscene at the end, so we're going to go straight into the Great Cave Offensive. Now, the Great Cave Offensive basically starts with Kirby falling into a hole and finding a giant cave network. And this cave network is filled with treasure, like this one. Now, as you can probably guess, the 100% definition for this game mode is to get all 60 treasures and come out with a lot of 9s and 1 0 in gold. So a lot of these little chests have puzzles, like this one where you should not hit that bomb block because that creates a lava wall, which is very annoying to get through. Now we're gonna grab Wing again, because it's the fastest possible ability we can have right now, and it has a cool little feature here. This is the Condor Dive again. You just press those two buttons at the same time. More dive cancelling. So a cool feature about this game is that when you jump, you can actually deal damage, and you use that a couple of times throughout the run to deal with certain enemies that are in the way. Oops, I mashed a bit too hard there. So here we make sure we don't break that middle block, because else, well, chest falls in the lava and chest disappears. So we like to have our treasure. Oop, get down. There we go. More treasure. This is actually pretty cool. This is a screw attack. There are a lot of Nintendo references throughout these treasures, which is really fun in my opinion.
Right, we got a €6.86 donation from Indy saying, "You can't fight, I'm the hero, it's my destiny." And then we have €1.31 from Shadow Wolf saying, "I wanted to bob the total to 500, but I'm late again." Just like the Dutch railways. Let's just make it 550. We are a great community. 4K hype, 500 hype. And can I get a hype from Kinnin and everyone on the couch?
Hype! So we just missed the hardest boss fight in the hardest mid boss fight in the game. Actually kind of messed it up. You can do it a little bit nicer, but this was good enough. And here we go. So here, if we get lucky, we can do a nice little trick here, and we did get lucky. We can actually walk in between these Gordos. If you get unlucky, you get hit by the little cutter guy there, and that makes you unable to get in between them without getting hit. So here we have a nice little trick with Wing. So one of the reasons we actually also kept Wing throughout is because Wing can cut through wires, which is useful because there's a treasure here that we have to use wire cutting abilities for. And if you look at the bottom screen, you can see a little coin next to the place where Kirby is. This means that we have gotten all the treasures in that area, and we're ready to move on with our favorite ability, Jet. So we got lucky here as well. This is Fatty Will. Oh, damn, I messed that up. That is kind of sad. Getting good RNG and then messing it up. Next up, we're gonna do a nice little trick. These are cart sections, but carts are slow, so we're just gonna skip using the cart. And that was a pretty good card skip. Nope, never mind. Now it's a bad card skip. Oh well. Too bad. So this is a treasure that a lot of people might have missed casually. You have to break through all these blocks to get to that treasure. And get the 10 gold worth dime, because we need to get all the treasure that we can find. So here we're charging up our jet for a little bit later on. It's a little cool trick that you can do. You can charge a jet by either jumping or shielding. You can also charge a jet by falling into water. And here we get another 10 gold. This time the saucepan. That one actually kills runs sometimes because you forget about it and it just falls down. As you can see, we used our charge to press a button over there. And we can do that more. And then we're gonna go over here, and we're gonna find another cool reference, because this is the Helix fossil, Trace Helix. Sadly though, we also have to pick up the Dome fossil. Seriously. Why are you forcing us to do this game?
Alright, can we get another applause for Indy, because he just donated €43.13.
Nice. That total.
He says, "You guys can't win." That puts Lava Boost currently in the lead again for €99.99, followed by Poyo for €86.
Aww. I like Poyo. So here's another nice little thing. I'm gonna mash A like a madman. And if you get lucky, that actually allows you to not have to stand on that platform, but I'm sadly messed that up. Or rather, I didn't get lucky. Here's some neat little movement. So the thing you might actually notice when going through those platforms is that I press the shield button. By doing that, you skip a little bit of animation of Kirby like going down a bit. And every time you do that, you save like 0.1 second. So it's nice. Over the entire run, it just saves probably about half a minute or so. It's actually pretty big. So here's another cool reference, the Falcon helmet. Here we go. So this room is filled with these little cats with sacks on their backs. They're called tacks. And they can steal your ability and lead you on a wild goose chase to hunt them down. That was really close, actually. Here we got a nice little phone. That's from Kirby and the Amazing Mirror, actually. An awesome game that I speedrun as well. Or rather, an amazing game. Huh. So now again we have all the treasure in this little subsection. So we're gonna go to the boss. This is a computer virus, and as you can see, I'm actually wearing a computer virus t-shirt. I put it on for good luck because this is an RPG fight. And what do we know about RPG fights? They're full of RNG, like this. We got bad RNG, and every time we get a bad RNG, we lose about 5 seconds. So that's over the entire run. That can actually cost a lot because we meet these guys a lot. So for instance, now I've lost 10 seconds, which is pretty bad. This is also actually one of the reasons why I'm playing in Japanese. The text actually scrolls faster in the Japanese version than it does in the English version. And we have no idea why, it just does. But because of the faster text scroll, you actually, over the entire run, save over 2 minutes just with the Japanese version, just by playing the Japanese version. And that's the only reason why you want to play on the Japanese version. There are no specific glitches or whatever. So now we're going to start with Tower. Tower is, route-wise, probably one of the more interesting sections in GCO, where we use a little bit more abilities and are a little bit more creative with them, like that, using the jump to create a nice little downdraft. And here we're gonna get a little fight with the Meta Knights, that's how they're called. You just kill them with one jet cracker, and it becomes kind of easy. But this fight, however, is kind of hard, because you see that bomb block there? If I accidentally trigger that, the chest will fall down, and Bonkers will also fall down, and I actually need Hammer from now on. So we're gonna grab that real quick.
Alright, we have 2 donations actually. One from Niena for 10 euros saying there is absolutely no way that Lava Boost is going to win. Hashtag fight me. Although it's still currently winning though. It's still winning with Lava Boost at 99.99 versus Poyo at 96. Then we have another donation for 4 euros and 20 cents by Anonymous.
I'm just gonna blaze through with Hammer. Hammer isn't the fastest ability you can use here, but we need it a little later on, so. And here we're gonna grab this one. We can hold the shield button here to shield those 2 Gordos falling down. It's a nice little trick that saves you getting hit. So here is the only reason why we grab Hammer, to push that pack down so we can go down here. So I want to actually tell you quickly about what this game is based on. This game is based on Kirby Superstar, which is a SNES game. And a lot of its mechanics are kind of the same, but there are enough differences, and differences in glitches as well, to be basically counted as 2 different games. There are a lot of similar strats, but in the end, they're 2 different games. I'm gonna a nice little bit of luck here with fire. Ooh, I messed it up. Now he's gonna die. Okay, well, whatever. I kind of wanted that ability, but that's fine. So here we have Burning Leo. And Burning Leo can breathe fire underwater, because he's just that awesome. And with that, we can go over here and grab this treasure.
Right, we got €5.82 by Shadowfrost saying, I have to go with the cutest sound, the cutest character ever made in a game. But since Wii is not gonna win, guess I'll go with Poyo. And that puts Poyo in the lead again for €101.82 versus Lava Boost with 99.99.
So right there we did a little damage boost to get back to the start. And now we're gonna do another mix. And I failed horribly. Luckily this mix is quickly set up again. Ah, I missed again. So I'm trying to get wing here. Oh my. Come on. I don't want ninja, I want wing. Give me wing. Please. There we go. First try. Every time. Easy. So I'm fine with getting hit here for a little later on. Now we're going to go into the hardest room of the game, and we're going to cheat because we're going to help our wing. If you hit any of these, you get the sleep ability, but for some reason helpers never sleep, so you can just use a helper to store your ability here, and yeah, okay, so this happens. So now we get a nice little nap. Kirby needs his rest. And we're going to grab wing again because we do need it a little later on. In an actual run, I would never do that, but since this is a marathon, better go for marathon safety. Now we got a nice little movement. Ah, that wasn't too good.
Alright, we got two donations. One from Nina for €25 saying, I am serious. Hashtag fight me, Indy. And then we have €4.81 by Xida saying, I'll support Poyo. Oh, and I fixed the total again.
Please, give me more Poyo. I want the Poyo. This is a kind of annoying room. You need to jump precisely or else you're just gonna get pushed away from the treasure. That's a little annoying. So right here is actually the boss room. Right here. But I don't really have nice abilities to fight him right now, and I kind of need these, so we're just gonna go in there real quick and then leave again. Friends, we need stone to break through here, and then we can continue on.
Alright, we have a €64.23 donation from Indy, which puts him at €500 donated across all BSGs. So let's give it up for Indy. Alright, so he's saying, someone told me that I almost donated a big chunk of money, and apparently I have to fix myself. So go for it and try to beat me, OPOP. Now, currently the bid war is looking at Lava Boost at €164.22, and a close second, well, sort of, Poyo with €130.82, which puts the character name for Dark Souls almost €400 for just that incentive. And we also reached 700, by the way.
Okay, oh shit. Oh, no, I don't want to die yet. No, I want to die. Oh, oops, I died. Oh, no, I died. Oh. Just kidding. So when I went into the boss room, I actually set a death warp flag. So I death warped back into this room, and we're gonna finally fight the boss now. Nice little pink boss this time. Chameleon Arm actually changes colors every time you meet him. And then we can quickly kill him, like that. And we're gonna use Ninja coming up of it. I'm hearing a lot of giggles behind me. This is not good. I'm scared.
It is. It's all for charity, boy.
So this room actually gave me a lot of trouble casually, and still sometimes does in a speedrun. You need to be really fast going up there. I actually did it decently well, even though I got hit. And, well, I guess you can do that donation now.
All right, €5.95 from Shadow Wolf saying, we all know how Kirby say hi. Kinnin and Kirby are both cute, so can Kinnin give me a Kirby hi? See that fight me when we need a normal total.
Hi. That was a horrible one. I'm sorry. So now we're completely done with tower. So we're also done with. There we go. We're also done with Ninja. So we're gonna grab Jet back because we love Jet. And maybe if I'm actually good, I can do things correctly. So at the end of tower, we just leave, and we go into. You go into another card section, and because cards are slow, we're just gonna skip using them. Here we go. And we're gonna go into the garden. Here we're a little... Ah, damn. You can actually get the birds to spawn on the right side rather than the left side. There we go. And here we're gonna do something that I didn't know as a kid. You can just hold down at a full charge and Jet will just fly down. If you don't do that, it actually becomes a frame perfect trick. So as a kid, I did that trick frame perfectly to get 100%. It was not fun to grind that.
All right, looks like Niena just donated for €64.95 saying no, and that puts her almost at 200, just a bit over €250 across all BSGs as well. And that puts Poyo in the lead again for the Dark Souls character name incentive for €201.72 versus Lava Boost, €164.22.
Oh my god.
Also, we've reached over €450 for just this Dark Souls character name incentive.
Yes, give me the Poyo. Give it to me. So here we're gonna get the Gordo out of the water. It's actually nice because if you get hit in this game, there's a random chance that you will lose your ability, and for some reason when you get hit by Gordos, it always feels like it happens more often. So you try to avoid getting hit by those as much as possible. Also, we just use the strongest ability in game to press a button, because that's what the strongest ability in the game is for, right? Go. So a little while ago, whatever. This is another chest that is really evil and hard to miss. I spent forever finding this back in the day. And here we're gonna do something really nice. I know everyone that it's March right now, but let's celebrate some Christmas with a Christmas tree. Because Christmas trees are the best. There we go. And of course, the references in this game aren't over yet. Because here we're gonna collect a DK barrel. I'm getting really scared. This room is kind of annoying to do fast, because you can quite easily get hit by the spikes, but at the same time the hitboxes aren't too amazing. You can just sit in the spikes for halfway. Just get that donation over with.
All right, Indy with the €100 donation.
Oh my god.
Saying, okay, it's over. You want to fight? Bring it on. And that puts Lava Boost in the lead by €63, roughly. So putting it at $264.22, and versus Poyo, $201.72. which also puts us over 550 euros for just this incentive, guys. Keep it going.
So this little cute combination...
Also, we just hit
oh.
850, by the way.
So this little cute combination is a wheelie and wheelie rider. It's actually about the same speed as Jet horizontally, but the main reason why you don't see it that much is because it just pales in comparison to Jet when it comes to boss fights. But it's pretty useful for this section. It's actually required to get that, get the tire. I'm very sad because I didn't get to say all my tire puns. It's really annoying, you know, because I never get tired of them. Get down. There we go. Now we're gonna do a little trick here. There we go, first try. That was nice. So you're not actually supposed to be able to do that, but for some reason you can just cut it like that. Sort of clipping yourself in there. And here we have the final treasure in the game, which is of course the Triforce, which we're gonna sell to Ganon. He pays more. Link never pays well, seriously. He pays in these weird crystals. We went gold, not crystals. This is Wham Bam Rock. We just hit him a bunch with Wheel. In the original version, he actually looked kinda different. But let's not get into that. And here we're gonna grab Stone to quickly be able to kill him, because Stone deals a lot of damage. And we didn't get lucky. Sometimes Wheelie is a bro and does the final hit. What? Okay. You can, actually no you can't. Wait a moment. I'm very sorry, but I'm nearing the end of this game mode, so I need to get ready for the next one. So we're done with this, so we're gonna go over to the next section of the game. I'm gonna grab a star here. And of course, we're gonna get a nice, very, very long cutscene. I think this cutscene takes like 10 minutes or something like that, because it goes through all the treasures. So we soft reset to continue that. So now we have Revenge of Meta Knight. Meta Knight basically wants to end the lazy lifestyle of Dreamland, and he does that with his giant bird, Hellbird, it's called. And you can go ahead now.
Guys, let's get those applauses continuing, because we just hit 1,000! That's unbelievable how fast we actually hit that 1K. Okay, so 101 euro by Niena saying, let's see whose pockets are deeper. Give it up for Pollo. And then we have 25 euros from Trollmaster saying, did someone say Pollo? Yes, we did. Okay, so that puts the current bid war at, let's see here, 327 euros and 72 cents for Pollo and 264.22 for Lava Boost.
So in the meantime, you saw me quickly mix another Jet, because we love Jet. This Heavy Lobster we don't have to kill. You can actually kill him, but you don't want to, because it causes a couple of lag frames. And that is slower. We don't like lag. So now we're gonna quickly use Jet to just go fast. That was a really nice boss fight. So another thing you can do with Jet is hold down, and that's why at the end of my Jet you see me like falling down a little bit. It's a really nice thing to do. So a thing about Revenge of Meta Knight is that Revenge of Meta Knight likes its auto-scrollers. So here we have one. There are many more going ahead. This one takes about a minute to complete, so if you got anything to say, you just go ahead now.
Once again, just want to say that currently Poyo for the for the Dark Souls character name, Poyo is winning with 327 euros 72 cents, and Lava Boost is a close second, sort of, with 264 euros 22. Also, we are only 159 euros away from beating last BSG's total donation for that marathon. So let's make it happen, guys.
So now we get to fight against an old favorite, Wispy Woods. Hello, Wispy Woods. This time, however, he's calling in the backup. This is Twin Woods. Twice the woods, twice the fun. Though the fight is still quite easy, because Jet is just that good. So in between every stage in Revenge of Mana, you get this nice little cutscene. This time it's Kirby getting shut down, trying to enter. And here we're gonna do some movement. This movement is a little tight here and there, so... Go. Oh, move up. There we go. Ah, damn. Sometimes you bonk on that, like, randomly, it's kind of annoying. And because we haven't had enough of double bosses, here we have double bonkers. And we just let one bonkers kill the other one. Ooh, whoop, let's get up here. Now we're gonna do something that I love doing. This is the elevator. Whee! Oh god. So after the elevator, we're gonna light this little cannon, and it's gonna do something you're not gonna expect. It's gonna go up. And then we're gonna meet Dynablade, who we fought earlier. But Dynablade is cool now, so she's gonna bring us on top of the halberd at the cost of a lot of pain, because she gets shot down, as you can see in the background. I'm gonna do another jet jump to get over a lot of enemies and just go fast.
Alright, we just gotta keep clapping for Indy because he just donated 123 euros and 45 cents. Alright, he's saying, my weapon's getting bigger, my bank account getting smaller, I don't care, this is war. And that actually puts Lava Boost back into the lead. 387 euros and 67 versus Poyo, 327 72 cents. And that puts the Dark Souls character name incentive over 800 euros for just that incentive. And also, we hit 1.1k and only 34 euros away from beating last BSG.
Okay, this boss fight is really annoying if you get bad RNG, and I didn't get that nice of RNG. It was fine. So now we got another cool boss fight coming up. Don't blink, this will be over in a second. Here we go. This is main cannon number 2, which is actually a throwback to the original game. And that was main cannon number 2. Jet is just that strong. And then we got a nice little movement section here. Oh, come on. I messed up a little bit. Sometimes those breakable blocks, for some reason, don't allow you to go through them, and you bonk on them a bunch. It's kind of annoying to deal with. Oh, wow. So yeah, that's what can happen when you get hit. It's completely random, and it has killed many runs in the past. Just randomly getting hit and getting punished for it is just the worst feeling in the world. Oh, come on. And then we fight against Frosty. He gave me a good pattern so I can quickly go through him. There we go.
All right, we got 2 donations from Xida for €5.60 saying, Nina, I'm sorry, but I have to support my hero indie. Take this money and lava boost. And then we have €1.60 donation from Shadow Wolf saying, I have the feeling that the file name Murphy kinda died. Just like my dream for Rayman 4 and Brutes for Dark Souls 4. And yes, I fixed the total again. And by the way, does this donation even matter? It's only one number.
So here we have a really awesome auto-scroller. We're actually being chased by a Heavy Lobster. Let's see if we can get... this is gonna get close. Yeah, boys, we got all blocks. This is 100% confirmed. If you do not get all blocks, it's not a true 100% run. And your run will get destroyed on the leaderboards. Just kidding. It's a meme. So now we actually get to fight against Heavy Lobster. We actually have to destroy him this time. And of course, Jet is more than well suited. We got bad luck. Either he shoots out a minion or he shoots out fire. You always like just anticipate a minion because that's what he usually does. Now we're gonna fall down a little bit. Now this is, by some runners, this is called Hellway, because it's really annoying to travel through sometimes. But, we got through quite nicely. Sometimes it can really just mess you up, and you can die there. It's quite stupid. And we go through here. So we first have to go to this elevator on the right to press this little button here, and then we can't go all the way down because there were some blocks in the way that we had to destroy. There we go, nice. And then we're gonna go to, well, this game mode is known for its auto-scrollers. Of course, that means that we need to have an auto-scroller boss. This is the reactor. So that laser that flies down, it flies down on completely random places. And you can speed up the cycles by killing the things it shoots. Ah, damn. And that's the final shot right there. And that was the reactor. So now the halberd is close to getting destroyed. But the game isn't letting up on us, so we have another auto-scroller coming up because we love auto-scrollers, don't we?
You know when I told you we need the biggest of applauses? Well, we need an even bigger one because we not just only beat BSG, the past BSG, BSG 11 I think, we just beat the total for that. We also beat 4,500, so let's give a big applause for that. So yeah, those 2 donations from Niena for 150 euros. Would you stop? Poyo for life. This is war. And then one from Shadow Frost for 5 euros saying, I have to help Niena over here, of course. Otherwise, she can't put petrol in her car next month. I don't think I can stop her. Which puts the current character name for Dark Souls incentive with Lava Boost in first place 496.67 and Poyo 48 484.32.
So here we're gonna have a final fight of the Meta Knights before their ship goes down, and then they're gonna abandon ship. But of course, the captain stays behind with his ship. And the thing is about Meta Knight, he forces you to use sword, but why bring a sword to a jet fight? You can just use jet, it's way easier. And then we get to fight against Meta Knight. Now Meta Knight is completely RNG in what he does, and he's giving me perfect RNG. Thank you, Meta Knight. Boom! That was Meta Knight. That was a really good fight. Quite solid indeed. But now the final section of course, this game never lets up. This is basically an auto-scroller, where I basically only have to press a single button. So I'm gonna hold my hand on my back and just press A and A. And then we're gonna count a little bit. No. Jump. And then we're gonna go to the end, and it fades into a cutscene, which of course we soft reset real quick. And then we're gonna go over to the next sub-game. Now this sub-game needs a little bit of explaining. This is Milky Way Wishes. Now in Milky Way Wishes, you cannot suck up enemies for their abilities. You have to collect deluxe copy abilities, and they appear on my touchscreen, so I can basically have any ability I want at any time, which is quite useful for a speedrun. There is an intended order, but we just ignore it, and we're going to go into Sky High first, because going to Sky High gives us our favorite ability. It gives us Jet. And you can go.
Alright, we have 3 donations. One from Mr. Broad saying for €30 saying, let's keep Murphy and our hopes alive. Then we have one from Cruel for €20 saying, it might not be indie much, but hey, let's keep this somewhat interesting. Also, Jesper just called me out of bed on this one. GG Indie, you done it again. Money goes to naming the character Pollo. And then we have a really big one from Indy again, €103.40, saying, did I already told you that I paid next week, OPOP? Okay, so the current character name for Dark Souls has reached over 1,000 euros for just that incentive. Pollo currently leading with 504.32 euros versus Lavaboo's 496.67.
That's amazing, guys. So this is a hidden star. In this star, there's another deluxe copy ability. I actually didn't mention it yet, but for the 100% definition, I need to collect all 19, not 100, deluxe copy abilities. You can see a little counter at the bottom of the screen, so now I have 4 out of 19, which is really nice. So this is Cavius. This is basically a mid-boss rush that we have to go through quickly. Oop. I don't necessarily have to grab that star, but it's just instinct to quickly try and regain it. So a nice little thing is that you have to learn is equip optimizes, which is pretty cool once you get used to them. And now we have the best strat in the game. We're gonna copy Hammer and use his own hammer against him to kill him. So one of the reasons why we went to Cavius as quickly as possible is for the hammer, because of, well, this, basically. Boom, one shot. Hammer is, in the end, the strongest ability in boss fights. However, as a movement ability, it is absolutely horrible. So, in Milky Way Wishes, you actually use a combination of Jet and Hammer to go as quickly as possible through all the levels and all the bosses, which is really awesome. It is my second favorite sub-game in the end, because of that. It's also a joy to practice. So here we have Wham Bam Rock again. Now this time with the hammer I got a cool little strat. There we go. And that is a 2-cycle. Thanks to Profane Glitch for making that a consistent strat with a nice little visual cue. So this is Mekai. You can actually get through these blocks without having to use the cannon, but it's slower because you can't use it with Jet. And here we have another invincibility candy, so we can go to the bottom here and go nice and fast through here. And now we're gonna run off of this elevator because we fall faster than the elevator moves, so we want to skip using it as much as possible. So here we got a nice little button puzzle, which is pretty cool. There's a lot of going on around here. So here we have Plasma. Now Plasma is actually, in the original SNES game, the strongest ability for boss fights, but it's heavily nerfed in this game mode because it deals less damage and takes more inputs to charge. Now we fight against another Heavy Lobster. Now a cool thing about Milky Way Wishes is that we can actually use a special move from Hammer called the Hammer Throw, because it actually like throws away your hammer, which is kind of annoying in other parts because you want to keep your hammer, but here we can just quickly re-grab the hammer. So we're gonna try a little mix here again, because we're powerless anyway. Ah, one off. So you can actually mix Invincibility Candy there, but I messed that up. So we're just gonna go for normal strats. Oh, and we got hit, damn. So this is Hotbeat. This is also called the Destroyer of Runs, because you get hit by lava a lot, which is quite annoying. Here we're gonna do a Lava Boost! There we go! Lava Boost. So you're actually supposed to grab a candy that's up there, up here, in a little bit. But this, to get through there, but now we have that candy to go fast, rather than to have to solve a puzzle. Because Lava Boosts are awesome, but Poyo is more awesome, so donate for Poyo. And there we go. And we can get over here. We got a nice little mid-boss, and because we have the candy, we can just stand inside of him, because we're fast enough to quickly kill him before that happens.
Everybody, this is amazing. We just broke 5,000 euros in donation totals over our past few BSGs. 1.6 thousand euros this BSG, and a little over 1.2 thousand euros in donations just for Dark Souls. And speaking of, we have some donations. We have a €6 donation from Cruel, who says, "Okay, I didn't expect Poyo to take the lead. So my last bit to help Indy make Lava Boosts great. I might be slightly short though." Then we have a €10 donation from Sita, who says, "Lava Boost is greater than Poyo. Cruel, how could you betray us?" A €100 donation from Mr. Quicker, who says, "Madness, I'm in for that. Gonna support Niana. Gonna let the Kirby Poyo army win this epic battle. Poyo, Poyo, can I hear a Poyo from the audience?"
Poyo!
Poyo! And you know, why not? Niana comes in with another 50 and says, "You know, might as well reach the next milestone. Hashtag Poyo!
Poyo!
Thank you all so much, guys. Wow.
So this is the obligatory water level, because after all, this is a 2D platformer. And we got the best ability in game. This is Parasol. It is so swaggy. Just look at those pretty stars when you use it. Just look at it. Isn't that beautiful? It's also better in water than Jet, and we actually use it right here, because sometimes that guy over there likes to charge into you. And by using Parasol, we can just quickly go through him. And then we're gonna fight against Jukit. Quite easy. And now we could go all the way around, but that is annoying, so we're just gonna stand in these spikes for a little bit. Listen to the music while Kirby dies. This is about the same speed as going all the way around, and if you enter with less health, it's always faster, so that's pretty nice. So this is a little water maze. Of course, I know exactly where to go, because after all, I am the speedrunner. I think. I hope. Am I a speedrunner? I don't know. So there are a bunch of currents here that push you to a certain direction, and once you're gone through, you can't go back, so that makes the maze a little annoying to go through sometimes. And now we got another boss fight against Fatty Will. Now this time Fatty Will has a lot more health, but luckily we have hammer, so we can quite easily beat him. And we're gonna use the hammer throw to our utmost advantage. The next planet we're gonna go to is technically the first planet, but we're doing it second to last because that makes more sense. This is Floria. Now Floria has a cool little gimmick where when you go through certain doors, you change the seasons. And by doing so, you can open doors with abilities, or you can actually continue through. So it's a pretty cool puzzle where you need to know which season you need to have to be able to continue and to get all the abilities that are in this level. Like here we switch to winter and we got fighter. And every time we change back to Jet because we love Jet and Jet is fast. 1, 2. And get the cutter. So the thing I haven't actually mentioned is the story of Milky Way Wishes. Now, for some reason, the sun and the moon have started fighting night and day, and we don't know why. But this little guy comes up to us and says, like, hey, you should collect all the power of the planets around us and ask Galactic Nova to stop the sun and the moon from fighting, because Galactic Nova can grant any wish. So next up we have a pretty difficult section of movement in Half Moon. So I need to focus on that a little bit. Okay, here we go. Okay, that was really good actually. I was a little bit tight on one part, but it went well. There we go. So, if Profane Glitch is watching, I am very sorry, but I still haven't learned the card skip here, so we're still gonna go through the card. You can skip these cards by using Hammer proficiently. Sadly though, I'm not that proficient with Hammer, Kappa, so I don't do it. Now we got another double boss fight, but this double boss fight is pretty easy. Just throw hammers at them. Ah, damn, he got away. Switch to Jet because we need that in a bit to get through this section. So these biosparks can be a pain in the ass, but they're nice. Sometimes they shoot out shuriken and mess you up, and then when you get close they grab you and deal you a lot of damage and loses you a lot of time. It's very annoying to deal with. I'm gonna try a little cool movement trick you can do here with... Yep. Okay, I failed horribly. It's a heart movement trick to do. It's technically TAS only. We are gonna try and one cycle this Evil Knight, so here we go. Nice! That is harder than it looks. Ah, bad cycle, sadly. We instantly get punished for our good play. So actually, whenever you've finished a computer virus, you get all these nice little stat ups and experience and stuff. But it doesn't really matter. They're like stuff like cuteness and roundness and stuff like that. All the cute things that are associated with Poyo, with Kirby and Poyo. So now we've collected all the power of the planets. And right as we want to make our wish, the little guy called Marx comes up and he wishes to be the ruler of Popstar. So Galactic Nova gives him a lot of power and then starts crashing towards Popstar. And so we're going to stop him. And of course we're going to do that in an auto-scroller, because auto-scrollers are fun.
We have some donations in, starting with a €3 donation from Shadow Wolf, who says, "It's all in here. If you read the story, you find your way out, Thex. Once upon a time, there were Poyos, harmony, love, peace, boring. Suddenly, a wild indie turned the donation total into madness. M3 is in great danger. Here we go. I say is that Poyo took off with our money 2,000 hype." And then there's more Shadow Wolf, because, you know, why not? That was a short story, so... €2 more to say, 25% goes to BSG, right? Does that mean we can afford a bonus stream after Metroid? If yes, should I come over for some Rayman 3? And then there's some more indie, because India hasn't donated enough yet.
I actually kind of want to... never mind.
Oh,
I failed the
sure,
boss
go
fight.
ahead.
I failed the boss fight. Just go ahead. I
Oh,
messed
boy.
up.
Okay, well, you'll get a rematch. So there's Indy again, with a €146 and 66-cent donation, putting us at 176766 for some reason. Who says, "Did somebody say lava boost?" Thank you all so much.
So now we're gonna get into the final fight of Milky Way Wishes. We're gonna fight Marx because he is turned evil. Now, Marx is again tied to RNG, where he's gonna spawn right here, and we got bad RNG. This loses us 10 seconds because this cycle is very slow, and then we still have to deal enough damage to beat him. Ah damn, should have gone for the swag finish. And that was Milky Way Wishes. We got another long cutscene, so we're gonna soft reset, and we're gonna go to the next part of the game. So next up we have the arena, which is a giant boss rush of just about every boss we fought. And we got the cutest one first. We got the fight against Bananity. Blink and you'll miss it. Everyone spam Bananity in chat. There we go. That was Bananity. Poor guy. He's so easy to beat. Next up we have Dynablade. He's a pretty easy fight and don't really need to explain much, so...
We got in a €20 donation from Emling, who says, "I can't attend BSG this time around, but I wanted to chip in anyway. You guys are doing a great job. Let's kick cancer's butt. Money goes towards naming the character in Dark Souls Lava Boost."
Whoa!
At this point, Lava Boost is in the lead by about €20. It's $6.79 versus $6.59. So get your donations in if you want to see Poyo run.
Seriously, guys. Poyo is the only right choice. Why go for Lava Boost? So we choose Hammer, obviously, because it's simply the strongest ability to get through bosses. And there's some awesome strats involved with using Hammer. I missed a 2-cycle. It's a pretty easy trick to fail, to be honest. It's somewhat consistent with the setup that Glitch made, but sometimes you just mess it up a little. So Wispy Woods is quite easy to do, so we just Hit him twice. And then we got another computer virus fight, so let's hope we get good RNG.
We got in 50 euros more from Niena, who says, nope, I'm pretty sure it was Poyo.
So the thing about Japanese that's annoying is that the Evil Knight can do two things when he's blinking. He's either shielding or he's powering up. And when he's shielding, he takes reduced damage and basically gives me an extra cycle. So it's always a bit of a guess until you hit him. But we got lucky this time. If he powers up, it's actually the fastest thing he can do. So that's pretty nice. So the basically, oh hey, here we get the rematch against the Galactic Nova Nucleus. Now the way this fight works is that you have to shoot these nodes, and that way you one by one defeat him. Now you want to kill the first 4 nodes and then skip 2. Because on the 5th node, the thing goes backwards, and that's what I failed. I was a little bit too excited because of all the generous donations from you guys. This is how the fight is actually supposed to go. It was actually a really good one. Oh, messed up an input. You can actually, if you get good luck, you can one cycle these guys, but we got unlucky, so it's a fast 2 cycle. Now we fight against Meta Knight again, and once again he forces us to use sword. But seriously, why bring a sword to a hammer fight? That was a pretty good Meta Knight fight. See? You should never bring swords to hammer fights. It just doesn't work, guys. There we go. So we're gonna get hit here. Let's hope we get lucky and we don't lose our ability. Nice, thank you. Thank you, game, for being nice to me. There are a lot of cool little damage boost strat concerning hammer in boss fights. Here's one of them, for instance. If you get hit, your animation resets so you can more quickly go into your next attacks, which is pretty nice. Let's see if we can one-shot some bosses here. There we go. So I'm actually putting myself under the bosses so that they fall to the left side of me, which is a little bit easier to clean them up afterwards. So I got a bunch of health taken, so I'm gonna grab a tomato here, because there are more damage boosts coming up, and I don't want to die in the middle of arena. Because if you die in the arena, you have to do the entire thing all over again. So that's a giant time loss I don't want to take. So a lot of people ask me whenever I do the reactors, why don't I kill the cannon on the bottom? I feel like it's not really worth the speed up that you get from it, because it just takes a while to hit and you can more easily... it's easier to speed up different cycles of RNG. And then we get Kreko. We can just whack him in the face. Like that. So this is another damage boost fight. I usually lose hammer here because the game hates me. But the game is nice to me today, so I didn't lose hammer. It's a really nice little damage boost. And we're not done damage boosting yet. So here we go with Chameleon Arm. So again, we reset the animation by getting hit. So that allows us to quickly chain our hammer flips together. There we go. So every boss is completely random in which order it goes in the arena, except for Marks. Marks is always at the end of the arena, so we have to deal with him one more time. Let's hope we get good luck this time. That would be nice. Ah, damn. I hit too early, so he went up a lot faster than he's supposed to. Too bad. And that's the arena. And the arena doesn't have a cutscene at the end, so we can just go straight into the next game mode, which is called Revenge of the King. Now this time, DDD has become serious. He's seriously trying to kill Kirby this time. Now for anyone that's been paying attention during Kirby's Dream Land 1, keep your eye out on the level design in this game mode, because a lot of it is basically carbon copied from the original first game, which is really cool. It's a really nice homage to it. But at the same time, this is sort of Spring Breeze on steroids. So there's a lot of enemies, and it's really hard to get through quickly. We start out with Cutter. There is actually, right at the start, there is a jet mix, but it's a really hard mix that I only go for in IL runs. It's just not worth to do it in a 100% run, because you can just lose your run based off of that thing, and you're like 1 hour and 15 minutes in. That's not a good idea. Now this mid-boss is called Fan Fan. Whenever you touch Fan Fan, he does this. It's really slow and annoying, so you try and deal damage to him without getting hit. And like so. There we go.
We got in 22 euros and 34 cents from the X Terra, who says, promise to donate 4 euros, but in a bit more for this hype marathon. Shoutouts to Kinnin for having to deal with all these donations.
Thank you.
We got in 5 euros from me, and I said, I'm helping! Hashtag Pollo. And then finally we have Niena with 50 euros more, who says, donated about 600 euros if my calculations are correct. Indy, you were a worthy opponent. I concede. Heart. And I'm pretty sure that we have another donation in from Indy, donating 85 euros. Who says, hey guys, first time watcher, first time donator. Also, greetings from Germany. Just kidding. Just kill the Poyos and save the lava boost. And that, my people, puts us at 2,000 euros for this BSG. Thank you all so very much.
Meanwhile, I've just been hitting perfect movement. Whatever. So, coming up next is the easiest mix in the game, so I'm probably gonna fail it at least twice. No, I didn't. So that mix is literally just mash the A button, because it's the first one on the reel, and then we get Jet, because we love Jet. So, Jet movement in Revenge of the King is a little bit tougher to go through. Oh wow, I usually have a full charge there. Well, we got through there nicely. I've lost Jet countless of times in that section. It is really annoying to go through. Oh, come on. This is quite tricky. Fireline is not too difficult of a boss. He generally does nothing. Sometimes he jumps forward and tries to attack you, but if you're fast enough, you can deal with him quite easily. Ah, damn. I've been messing up this jump so often lately, and it's really bothering me. So a cool thing about Jet in this section is that you can one-hit... Ah, that was almost a two-cycle. That's really close. It's really hard to two-cycle this boss. You have to time your Jet quite well. And then we get another Kirby dance. Here we go. Oh, come on. Like I said, this movement is not the best. It's not the easiest to go through. Here we go. Nice, that was actually a lot harder than it looks. I usually get hit there. So the important part about jet movement is that you're trying to space out your jets correctly. So you're trying to start them at the right moment and trying not to drop them. That's quite useful thing to do. So the thing about Revenge of the King is that all the other bosses from Spring Breeze come back. And this time they're in revenge form, so they have different moves and deal more damage and are generally more annoying to deal with. But again, we have Jet, so we can just go through everything quite easily. And that was annoying because I bunked. Here we go. So again, this is a carbon copy, for instance, of the original Kirby's Dream Land, followed by another carbon copy level, which is quite nice. I like good homages in a game. Then we have Krakow's Revenge. Now Krakow has spikes now. But in the end, with Jet, it just becomes a pretty easy fight. There we go.
We just got in a €9 donation from Rickles who says, What? And I believe that we have our first donator who has donated over €1,000 across all of our marathons. We have Indy, a great dude who has a bank account that needed emptying.
Right behind me.
So, wow, guy, you are single-handedly kicking cancer's butt.
So this is the final stage of Revenge of the King. This is called The Revenge. And this time we actually have to go through a bunch of mid-bosses before we can get to DDD. Nope, that was not the way you should go through that boss. Have to improvise a little bit here and there. There we go. That was not the best. I got bad RNG on that wheelie. He usually does something else where he tries to go through me instantly. And there's a really nice strat when he does that. I really enjoy doing that. Okay, that's bad. I might have just lost Jet. I can't hear it. Oh, we got it back. Woo! That was close. That was near the end. So whenever a star drops, after a while, it just disappears. So this is Fan again, and this time he's been supercharged. That's why he's so orange. And he just moves faster and is generally more annoying to deal with. And then we get another bit of movement. A fun little fact, during these little cutscenes where DDD talks, he said here, "Bring in the cavalry!" And what is his cavalry? It's 2 fire lions. If I get lucky, I might gonna try something cool. Oh wow, he didn't do what I expected him to do. So we're gonna try another mix here. Let's see if we can get it. Ah! Every time on that specific mix I get one off. It's really annoying. It's just, I could have gotten 3 candy mixes. That is sad.
And you know, while we're praising him for being such a great dude, Indy comes in with €37.71 donation. Says, "Hey guys, does anybody have a bed to offer me?" So if you can spare a spare bed for a great Indy, then contact him. Also, that puts us over €5,500 lifetime total for BSG.
So now we get to fight against Mas DDD, and he gives us, luckily, the best ability to fight him with. He gives us a hammer. This time, however, DDD is actually smart, unlike... Oh, I almost got the quick kill. Oh, that is so close. Oh, that is sad times. Let's see if we... There's actually a sound glitch that can happen on that final hit, where instead of saying, oh, he goes, disco. It's really sad if you can't get it. And now we're gonna soft reset again, because we don't like seeing cutscenes, now do we? And we're gonna go to what I feel is arguably the worst game mode in this game. Some people love it, I don't. This is Helper to Hero. So you saw all these characters in this screen. Helper to Hero is basically a giant, like, boss rush, where you can use different ability, where you can use different abilities, all 20 to be exact, all 20 helpers. Now, for the 100% definition, you luckily don't have to defeat this arena with every single one. You only need to do one. So of course we choose the fastest, which is the hammer helper called Bonkers. You can go ahead.
We got in €3.29 from Zeta to fix the total, who says, Indy, you're the best, but please stop breaking the total. I had to fix it once again. We need some more lava boost this BSG. Thank you so much for your generous donations.
So a cool thing with helpers that you might have noticed is instead of puffing when you jump, you in the air, you get this little hop. And that creates pretty cool situations like that Dynablade fight where you can just basically just hover in the air indefinitely, which is pretty nice. Let's see what's up next again. Let me think.
And a quick update on the Dark Souls file name challenge. We are right now losing since we are Poyo. No, Lava Boost is in the lead with €814, while Poyo is second with €786. So get those €30 in for Poyo if you want to see the file name be Poyo. Also, that is over €1,700 in donations now, guys. Dark Souls is winning.
So a weird thing with Bonkers is that even though he's this big, his hitbox is practically the same as Kirby's. So sometimes you can just see me stand inside of enemies without getting hit at all, where you'd normally expect to get hit. Except for doing hammer flips, of course, because hammer flips move your hitbox a little bit. For some weird reason. We actually use that to our advantage sometimes. So this time we have another computer virus. This one is purple. The bosses have more health, and that's basically it. But it doesn't actually make the fight go any slower because hammer is just that powerful. It's only when you get bad luck that it slows down. So here we go. We got bad luck. The Great Dragon petrified himself, so he takes less damage. And that way we lose a cycle. And of course he does the second slowest thing he can do, which is a bunch of air, which takes about 10 seconds to complete. Over 5 seconds in normal cycles. Now this time, Meta Knight does not force a sword on us, which is cool. So we can just hammer him down. Hammer him into the ground, rather. And he gives us nice RNG, so we can just deal with him quite easily. So now we're gonna get to the final boss of Helper to Hero. Which is not exactly what it may seem. So, first we have... I messed that up. It's actually a little easier with Bonkers to get the 2 cycle because your hammer flip hitbox remains on the field longer than Kirby's hitbox for some reason. Oh my god. I missed so much there. So now we're gonna go to the real final boss of Helpert Hero. This is Wham Bam Jewel. Now, his moves are slightly different from Wham Bam Rock's, and he actually does deal more damage than Wham Bam Rock, but with Hammer, he's just a pushover. You can get a quick donation in.
We got in a 50 euros and 69 cent donation from Mr. Quicker, who says, Indy, you are the true hero of BSG 12, but I will help you getting your bank account emptied to support my all-loved Poyo. And that donation just put Poyo over Lava Boost again. Poyo is in the lead now by 23 euros and 2 cents.
So, from arguably the worst game mode in my opinion to the best game mode in my opinion, this is Meta Nightmare Ultra. We basically blaze through the first 5 game modes as Meta Knight. Now Meta Knight has some cool things he can do. You see these little blue balls flying towards him whenever he kills enemies. Those are called points. And on the second screen you can see this little counter going up. That counter goes up to 50, and it allows me to use these touchscreen abilities that you see on the bottom screen. The one I'll be using the most is the top right, which is called Meta Quick, and as you might expect, it makes me go fast. So as a speedrunner, you want to use that as much as possible. Another one of the abilities that we really route around is Mach Tornado, which is this ability. It costs 30 points. Your maximum amount of points you can get, by the way, is 50. After 50, it doesn't go up anymore. And what Mach Tornado does, it deals about 190 damage to everything on screen. And that makes it a really cool thing because it kills almost all bosses almost instantly. Sometimes you have to do like 1 or 2 hits. And that's it. There we go, that was a cool, good fight. So, Meta Knight's moveset is kind of a combination between sword and wing, because you can flap like this, and you have all these sword abilities. Oop, there we go. That are also unique to Meta Knight. Nice, we got good RNG there. We got a cool little quick kill. So the thing you might notice on the second screen, that there is this little thing called time. This game mode has an in-game timer, which actually stops at loads, so it's actually perfect for speedrunning. And whenever you go into loads or use certain abilities, the game timer stops. Now in in-game timed runs, for instance, we would have tornadoed that DDD fight because Tornado stops the in-game clock. But in RTA, it's actually faster to just mow him down with your sword. Another thing you might notice me doing a lot is dash attacks. They're called lunging slices. Here we go. The cool thing about these flaps, by the way, is the faster you mash, the faster you go up. So you want to get good at mashing in for this game. Woo! The thing about these lunging slices or dash attacks is that they are not only the fastest way of movement, but they also deal probably the most amount of damage in Meta Knight's moveset if you take out Mach Tornado. So you want to use them as much as possible to deal damage. But at the same time, while using them, you get invincibility frames, so you just go through everything quite easily. And it's a pretty nice thing to use. So I'm actually gonna try a really cool trick here. This is a glitch that I'm gonna attempt. I haven't tried it that much lately. It's actually RTA, in RTA it's slower. There we go, we got it. Whee! So that is called mega jumping. Now what mega jumping does is you do a dash attack and you interrupt it with a touchscreen calling a helper. And by doing that, you will... Oh, no, that's the right one. Never mind. You will reset the state of Meta Knight, but for some reason you don't reset the speed. So you can actually add to the speed, and the best way to keep your speed is to jump. So you get these really long jumps. Now the reason why it's fast in in-game time but slow in RTA is because during the animation of the helper, the in-game timer stops. But when you do that in RTA, well, the RTA timer, of course, doesn't stop. So the gain you get from the mega jump basically just isn't enough to warrant using the helper. I only really do it in marathons to show it off, so... Everyone likes a little bit of showing off, don't they? Awesome things are awesome. So another thing about Meta Knight is that he deals with mid-boss fights really well. You can just... Ooh, that was bad actually. He deals a lot of damage and has a really nice moveset to quickly go through most mid-bosses. Ooh, that was... Yeah. So a fun thing about this game that I haven't mentioned is the fact that I have two jump buttons, actually. I have an A button and a Y button that both do jumps, and I accidentally tapped the Y button there. It can happen. It's a little annoying, but we can deal with it. So unlike with Kirby, for Meta Knight we don't have to collect anything or do things to get 100%, we just have to beat it. And it's a fun thing to just try to beat it as fast as possible because it's got this really nice timer to do that. It's actually one of the most active leaderboards or active categories. And me and a really cool and a good friend of mine grinded it to almost perfection. It is really optimized right now, and I'm messing it up. This friend of mine that I'm talking about is of course the guest. He is awesome. He's taking a break from speedrunning, but he's a really nice guy. So this is the boss fight that I was talking about that we, like a long time ago, that we only got to see right now. This is the boss that moves around on Dynablade's map, and if you hit it, you have to fight it. But we can skip it with Kirby, but with Meta Knight, you're forced to fight him. But that still doesn't mean that Meta Knight goes slower than Kirby. So usually when you use Mech Tornado, an enemy has to be on screen. But for Dynablade, well, Dynablade is not on screen right now. For some reason, when you use Mech Tornado on Dynablade, it doesn't matter if she is on or off the screen. So we can just use it whenever the health bar is visible, which is pretty cool. It actually also creates a problem. There is a single frame where both the health bar and the enemies are visible usually. And if you hit that frame, your Mech Tornado will still not deal damage. We call that a first framer, and it's absolutely mortifying because you still lose all the points and you get none of the benefits. In RTA it's even worse because you like lose at least 10 seconds. A big part of Meta Knight runs is point optimization. You really want to try and use as many meta quicks as you can in a row. And in this part, you don't have to use that many other abilities. The only real ability I want to use is Mech Tornado. There's actually the fourth ability on the top right that I haven't spoken about, because it is dishonorable for me to use it. It is healing, which basically just heals you for full, for 10 points. And if you're a good runner, that is a waste of time, because 10 points are a lot of points after all. That is a whole meta quick you can't do. For newer runners, however, I would definitely suggest healing whenever you can. Because if you die, you lose all of your points rather than just 10 points. You can do the math, which is better. Nice, we got that little jump there. Yep. So of course we're not done with my little friends that are on my t-shirt. We got more of computer vibes. Meta Knight, it's quite easy. You just dash through them. Now a long time ago we would Mac Tornado the Magician because we just thought that's easier. But we found a way to one-cycle him like this. It's actually quite precise. Just have to hit him at the right moments. So a fun thing, Kirby gets all these like cute stats. Meta Knight actually gets like stats like foot speed or sword shine or coolness and stuff like that, and courage, which is pretty cool that they changed it like that. So, like I said, you can just skip all the things that Kirby had to do for 100%. You can actually, you are completely barred from entering the tower. You are truly unable to enter it, so that's pretty cool. The game actually lets you not have to do all of that. Like here, for instance, there are a couple of doors missing, because the game is just like, just go here. You don't have to think about a route, you just have to go fast. It's really nice, of them. Because I like going fast. You might have noticed. Gotta go fast. Sorry for any headphone users, by the way. For some reason, the explosion of Wham Bam Rock is a lot louder than any other explosion in the game, so... Oh my god. So, kind of the story of Meta Nightmare Ultra is that Meta Knight is trying to prove that he is the strongest warrior in the galaxy. And to do that, he is going to do everything that Kirby has done, only a lot faster, because, well, he's Meta Knight. But that includes destroying his own ship. Now, there are many theories going around why he's destroying his own ship. My own theory is that he got so fed up with his stupid henchmen not being able to kill Kirby, that he's just going to kill all of his henchmen. Which is a little dark, but it fits in some ways.
And Indy just came in because he cannot let them win with a €35 and 67 cent donation, and says, "Well, I have to say, you guys don't give up that easily, but neither do I, OPOP." And that puts Lava Boost back at the top over Poyo for the Dark Souls character name. Lava Boost is now at 850 flat, while Poyo is trailing behind at 837.35. So get your €13 in for Poyo.
We cannot let any win. Poyo for life. Come on, guys. Don't disappoint me. I know we have a will to fight. We can do it. So behind me there was Nyena said, I might have a will, but I don't have a wallet.
So donate now.
Please. Help us out. Help out a man. So, a while back I found out that you can actually do this fight slightly faster without using Tornado, but you have to rely on luck. And I got bad luck. I got really bad luck actually. Dang. You can actually kill them before these things spawn. It's actually safer to do the Tornado, but I felt like trying to do the fast strat because, well, once again, we like to go fast. So coming up is another kind of technical section of movement. And I already messed it up. And that is actually damage boost. Pretty low in health though, it's kind of bad. So a fun fact about using Mech Tornado is that when the higher you are, the less the animation takes, but also the point of origin of the damage is the last known position of Meta Knight before going into the animation. So what you want to try to do in some cases is stand on the right side. And this is a use of the 2 button to go as fast as possible up there. There we go. So again, using heal is dishonorable, so we're not gonna do it. I might die, but I'm gonna die with my honor. So these Meta Knight fights are quite easy with Meta Knight. Because you can just go through them quite quickly. A fun fact, by the way, going all the way to the right here causes another elevator to go down. It saves you like 1 or 2 seconds of waiting up here, which is pretty cool. And I should have used Meta-Quick. Completely forgot to do that. And again, I'm going to stand all the way to the left so that these mid-bosses die towards the right rather than towards the center. Or away from the center. So luckily there's some food here that I'm gonna dodge apparently. And then we're gonna fight against main cannon number 2. We don't have to use the tornado for that. It's way faster to just do that. Ah, damn. That's some annoying movement.
We just got in an €85.86 donation from Mr. Quicker, who says, Indy, give up now. Poyo, make Kirby great again and win against those evil forces with the power of cuteness. And that puts Poyo in the lead for the Dark Souls character name again. And I have to say, seeing Indy freak out behind the tech station here is something to behold. Thank you.
So here we go against Heavy Lobster again. Ah, damn. So the thing about fighting against Heavy Lobster is that you want to stay in front of him, because if he goes like to the side, if you go behind him, he likes to jump to the side, which is annoying. Get some cool movement over there. And even Meta Knight has to go all the way around. You can actually, using Mech Tornado, press that button over there, but that's quite a waste of 30 points, if you ask me. It looks cool, alright, but it just, no, it's not worth it at all, because unlike Kirby, we can kill the reactor quite easily with just using a Mech Tornado. With Kirby, you have to like try to aim the laser and everything, and it takes forever, but luckily we don't have to do that at all. Now this is actually where the Revenge of Meta Knight parts end. We don't fight against ourselves. The first time the Meta Nightmare Meta Nightmare mode was introduced in Kirby's Nightmare in Dreamland, you actually had to do a Meta Knight versus Meta Knight fight. And that was completely confusing because they didn't give either of the Meta Knights a different palette. So you just have to like look at the actions to figure out which Meta Knight was yours. It was a mess. And here we just tornado the Twin Woods. It's just faster in this case. Ah, damn. You can actually fall through that hole instantly if you time your down stab correctly. This is actually a little bit of tricky movement here with Meta Quick. And also the first move I actually need to pay attention to my points. I like to have more than 20, and I do. There we go. Nice. And now I already have 30 points, which is perfect because there's a boss coming up, so I need to use those 30 points, obviously. So with Fatty Wheel, I like to get the good RNG, and I got the bad RNG, so I'm gonna hope I can get this one cycle. I'm really bad at it. I get it like once every 10 times, so... I failed it horribly, yeah. You can actually one cycle the Fatty Wheel like that. I didn't even deal enough damage, so it wouldn't even have worked out. So from this point on in Milky Way Wishes, I have to pay attention to my points for the very first time. Because the thing is about RTA is that you don't use as many Mech Tornadoes because sometimes they're just slower. So you're never really starved for points, because you don't get any extra points along the way either, so it's pretty nice. There we go. Ah, damn. There we go. So here we have Hotbeat. Now I need to focus a little bit here, because this isn't known as the destroyer of runs for no reason. So I'm gonna focus a little bit. Do another mega jump because it's the most awesome one that I like to do. Hello. Oh. So because the helper is in a cart, I can't use Meta Quick. Don't ask me why the game designers made that up. It's really annoying sometimes. Okay, and that was pretty nice.
Indy just came in with 100 euros more, saying, "Giving up? Maybe in your dreams." Oh, and one thing I don't want to mention, this is just a serious matter. That puts us 14 euros off from doubling last month's total. So if you want to be part of a milestone of milestones, you can do that now. This donation did put Lava Boost back into the lead for the Dark Souls character file name by about 27 euros. So you can donate towards that too. Amazing. 2 milestones.
So what I like to call cavious here is the restock area. Because you have to go through a lot of mid-bosses, you can just stock up on points, and every time you beat a mid-boss, you get some health. So that's why I came in with next to no health and just quickly go through. I was not supposed to have that amount of health, but it worked out. Okay, here we go. So this Wham Bam Rock needs a little bit more hits before I can tornado him. Otherwise, you just won't kill him, which is a little annoying, but you can deal with it quite easily. So with Meta Knight, we don't have to use the cannons here, we can just go through there, because your swords can solve every single puzzle, which is pretty nice. You don't need to solve all the puzzles, but you have the ability. You have the power, we have the technology. He is He-Man, yes. No, wait, he's not He-Man, he's Meta Knight. Meta Knight's way more awesome than He-Man. I mean, look at his mask. Isn't that shiny? Here you fight against Heavy Lobster again. This game does like to reuse bosses, especially because one game mode basically reuses an entire section of the game. So this is a pretty cool strat. I'm like right above the flames every time. It's kind of scary if you're new to the game. So here we have some harder movement coming up again, so I need to focus a little bit. Ah, damn it. Can game audio be up to a little bit? Thank you. Yeah. I couldn't hear my flaps there, so I didn't really know how far in I was. No, this is fine. You can go for a donation.
We got in two. One €6 donation from Recold who says, "I try." And one €10 donation from Jasper who says, "Double fire!" Also double BSG total. Let's get hype. Also lava boost because Indy is a boss. And what Jasper is referring to there is we just made double the donations we did last month. Guys, that is absolutely insane. Thank you all so very much.
So here we have our final run-in with the guys on my shirt. After this, we're done with the stupid RNG that is known as computer virus. Finally! Many runs have died to the RNG of these guys. Ah. Bad luck, sadly. So this fight, the Grand Dragon, you just quickly tap your Mach Tornado right as you use the final hit. You can actually do it a little bit more safely, but my way just assures that you get like a frame perfect hit at the start. So now we're coming up to a really cool boss. It's probably one of my favorite bosses in this game. So Meta Knight goes before Galactic Nova, and he wishes to the that he wants to fight the strongest warrior in the galaxy. So he summons Galactonite. Now Galactonite is a pretty cool fight where you have to dash through him a lot, and he does a lot of annoying attacks. And he has this move where he goes into the center, and in this case he summons minions. Why do I have so little points? I didn't pay attention to my points. Oh, damn it. Oops. I'm supposed to have a little bit more points here so I can tornado him to skip some RNG. But this is fine. Yeah, so here we get bad luck. You can either do a beam there or he can spawn minions. And because I didn't do the manip, he spawned minions. And that was Galactonite. And now we can finally lay down the DS and stretch. After 2 hours of intense gameplay, I get more than 8 seconds of pause. This is the only cutscene in the entire game I cannot skip, because if I skip this by soft resetting, I basically kill the 100%. So I have to go through this little cutscene, which is pretty nice. Nice little stretch. And let's see our end time in-game time. I like to see that as well. 26:08. That is not very good, sadly. I like to get at least a sub 25 when I'm doing actual attempts, so that's kind of bad. So now we unlock the final sub-game of this game. This is the true arena, where we go through all the hard bosses that we fought before. And you can do a donation real quick, because most of these bosses are already known. These damage boosts are actually somewhat intentional. It doesn't really matter if I get hit here. So
We just got in 126 euros and 79 cents from Mr. Quicker, who says, doubling the old BSG total. We can get even more. Let them come in, Indy. Definitely need to hug you when I see you, hopefully next BSG. And here it comes. Pollo! That puts Pollo in a comfortable lead of a little over 80 euros over Lava Boost. And not only is Dark Souls now at over 2,000 euros, also Pollo is over 1,000, making it the first subclass of a donation drive to get over 1,000. So let's get Lava Boost there too, guys. Just 34 more euros for it to get over 1,000. And also, we are about 32 euros away from getting 2,500 this BSG. So, boy, we are just milestone central, guys. Let's get this going. Keep your donations coming in. Thank you so much.
there we go. Wow. So, how to follow that up? Ah, damn, I missed the strat instantly. That's not a good follow-up. Luckily, we can just jump through these beams, because for some reason you get a couple of invincibility frames while jumping. It's a nice timing. So the way the True Arena works is that the first 6 bosses are random, and then the last 4 are always the same, and we start off with Mass DDD. We didn't get lucky. You can actually quick kill him quite easily when he does a specific move, but you barely never get it. And next up we have Wham Bam, so you can do a quick donation.
We got a $2.99 in from Shadow Wolf, who says, "Am I still useful? I'm getting scared." Yes, every donation counts, guys. We're still doing this for charity. And then we got in 145 euros and 11 cents from Indy, who says, "You get 2 hugs if you give up now." He's starting to bargain, guys.
Wow,
Please.
bribing with hugs. Seriously.
Thank you so much.
Poyo is more important than hugs.
Also, we got over 2,500. We just got 2,600. So that's a thing that happened.
So Galactonite is actually slightly easier to manipulate with Kirby because Hammer just deals so much damage. Like, he's already half health. And I got really bad luck because these are the most annoying minions you can spawn. Oop. And he is... Oh, wow, he should have died there. Oops. Ah, okay. That was kind of sloppy at the end. So now we're going to go to the final boss of the game. When we killed Marx, he crashed into Galactic Nova, and for some reason they have melted together to form Marx's Soul, which spawned a lot of Soul bosses in different Kirby games after him. And he is really annoying. Wherever he spawns is just completely random. So you need to get lucky to be able to get a lot of hammer flips in, and this is really good RNG. This is crazy. What the? That was so fast. No, not yet, not yet. Time is not up yet. I have never seen such a fast Mark Soul in my life. That is perfect RNG. Get ready on time. And time. So here we got one more Kirby dance. And we have mastered Kirby. So I would like to give a quick shout out to a couple of people who worked really hard on this game. Definitely to Amanu, the grandfather of Kirby Superstar Ultra runs. I want to shout out the guest again because he is just awesome. And I also want to shout out Snai for helping me out with learning to beat Meta Nightmare Ultra really quickly. So yeah. Now, thanks everyone for watching. And I'm not completely sure what's up next, but I've been a little bit disoriented from all the donations and all the generosity of you guys. You guys are all awesome. So I'll bring it over to Rule and he'll fill you guys in.